Alrighty guys, so we're still at the film festival and we're sitting with Tanner today. Tanner, how you doing?
Pretty good, man. How about you?
Pretty good. I see you got your Nolan going on here.
Yes, very much.
I didn't know that. I just took it off here.
So you basically just called me a pompous prick.
Well, that's I'm sitting going, oh no. All right, so other than being a comedian, it seems like you're also a filmmaker, of course.
Yeah, sure.
What film do you have presenting today?
Today, it's not showing today, but tomorrow, my first feature film, Somewhere in Nowhere, will be premiering at the Fort Smith International Film Festival.
Awesome. And so what is it about?
Well, it is a psychological horror drama. It centers on a character who lives out in the woods with his wife. They have seemingly a pretty happy life. Then one day, his wife goes out into the woods just to, walk around, something that country folk do. I should know, I used to be one. He goes out to catch up with her, and sadly, she is dead. And police get involved. Obviously, they immediately suspect the husband, but there's no evidence at all to suggest what happened to this poor woman. Fast forward a couple months, the husband is a complete drunk, he's a wreck, but he starts to notice strange things around his property, little things not being where they should be, and increasingly this becomes more and more sinister in what he finds, and maybe, just maybe, there's something watching him.
So what inspired you to make a film like this?
Well, I've always been a big fan of horror. One of my favorite films of all time is John Carpenter's The Thing, And one of the big elements of that film is just the fear of the unknown, because, you can see this creature, this entity, but you don't really understand it. And I wanted to try to capture that with this film, but also, it was based off of a short that I had made with my friend going on 5 or 6 years ago.
Wow.
Shot it on my phone, and it was awful. It was genuinely terrible. But, I don't know, about a year ago, the idea came back into my head again. I was like, okay, well, if I'm going to do this again, let's go all in and really try to flesh this story out. And thankfully, I had an incredible cast and crew that helped me do that.
Absolutely. And you were telling me earlier that you're a part of the crew as well in the movie.
Sadly.
What was it like switching between being a director, part of the crew, and then part of the backstage crew? What was that like?
Well, when you're on set doing it, it feels a lot easier than I think a lot of people make it out to be. Because if you're just a creative person, it's very fun. Because one scene, you're just on the camera, you're filming, and when you cut, you tell everyone what you liked, what you didn't. But then in the next scene, you're in it with them, and you can kind of play off of them and see what works and what doesn't.
Gotcha.
And for me, it was a ton of fun. Stressful fun, but fun.
Absolutely. And for those that haven't seen the film yet or are going to see it later on, what do you want to tell people at home?
Well, if you like a good scare, I would say check it out. If you like some creep factor, check it out. And I just think we were able to do a lot with a little with this film because we did not have a budget. We made it with $0 and equipment that I already had. And with that in mind, I think we made something really special.
Absolutely. You're in a festival. I mean, that nothing to sneeze at. So before we let go, the final question.
Final question.
First, what pops in your mind? The Thing prequel. How do you feel about it?
Oh, you put me on the spot there, brother.
And we'll leave it there.
Yeah.
We want to create, creeping feeling, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no, in all honesty, how'd you feel about that movie?
Honestly, a lot of people really hate the prequel. I don't. I think it's a pretty nice companion piece. Mm-hmm. But holy the CGI that movie is so good. It's so... Because, man, I remember watching it for the first time and thinking, oh, okay, I like this. This is a really cool vibe. The characters are really interesting. And then the second, the thing shows up, you're like, oh, what is that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then, you get into the studio interference stuff, and I'm like, oh, no, I'm out. But,
well, on that, thank you so much. I appreciate your time. I know you got a novel worth of.
Oh, dude, I was about to say, you were about to pull out the critic. I was like, oh, man.
That's why I'm cutting you off here, my guy.
No, yeah. Good choice.
Appreciate your time, man. Yeah.